I have a video that I want you to watch.
Hello and thanks for watching. Today's video is going to be about seven-leaf plots, including fractions.
So before we talked about seven-leaf plots, we really had not talked about them with fractions, right? And they may show up, and that is why I chose this this specific example so that we could practice that. Okay?
It's important to remember that seven-leaf plots organize numbers by the place value.
Okay. So stem and leaf plots organize numbers by their place value. So if we look at, let me actually go to that vocabulary of stem and leaf. There, it is a way to separate data by place value. So let's write that down. Stem and leaf plot is a way to separate data by place value. All right, so let's continue with the video and see what they show us.
Comes to fractions, if I'm going to place them on the stem-leaf plot, the whole number will go on the stem side, and on the leaf side, you will have the fractions part. So let's get started and read the question that we have in front of us. Marcy walked her dog every day. She kept a record of how far she walked each time. She recorded the distances she walked in miles below. Record each day's miles on the seven-leaf plot. So here are Marcy's miles. She walked all of these days. She kept a record. And as you can see on this day, she walked 1/4 of a mile. She walked 1 3/4 on this day, 2 2/4 on this day. So she recorded all of her days walked here in this group. Now it's important to know that I already put these fractions in least to greatest order, but you won't always have data that's in least to greatest order, so you need to order yourself if it's not already in least to greatest order.
Kind of like our example, right? In our example, we don't have it in order, okay? So let's go ahead and do that in order. We kind of did it already down here, right? In the frequency table. So we know that we have, how many halves? We have 2 halves, so let's write that down. Half, half, and then we have 1, 1, so let's write that down. And then we also have 3 1 and 1/2. So 1 and 1/2, 1, 1 and 1/2, 2, 1 and 1/2, 3. Now I'm going to clarify something. Earlier I got a question. Where do I get 2 dots from, or 1 dot, or 3 dots? Remember that I get those dots from the information that I have. I went through and I tallied how many times that number appeared, okay? So now that I've done that, now it's easier for me to use maybe this frequency data table to put whatever I have, right? So I have, okay, so we left off at 1 1/2. Now we go to 2. How many 2's are there? 1, 2. How many 2 1/2's are there? So there's 1 and there's 2. Guys, if you work on along with me, you'll know what I'm doing. And then we go to 3. How many do I have? So here is my information. Now, did you see what she said in the video? She said, on the left side, you write the whole number. And on the right side, you write the fraction, right? So, let's continue to watch to see how she does these.
So let's get started putting these fractions on our assembly leaf file. So as you can see, I'm going to start here with 1/4, and all these days walked do not have a whole number. She only walked less than a mile on these days. So those will go on the leaf side. 1/4 is my least valued day walked, the least number of miles she walked on that day. So that's first. 1/4 again on another day. Then 2/4, she walked a little more. 2/4 and 3/4. So
Now, do you understand why she is doing that? Right? Because these fractions do not have a number in front of it, right? They don't have a 1 in front of it. So in our sense now, let's go ahead and start building our stem and leaf. So here we have the stem and the leaf. And we're going to pretend that these have a what in front of it? A 0, okay? So we're going to pretend, we don't put a 0, but we're going to pretend. And if it helps you and you need to put in like a magical 0, a disappearing 0, then fill it in. What do I write here? A half and another half. Do I have any more fractions without a number, a whole number in front? No. What's my next number? 1. How do I show that?
You're going to put the 1 in the stem, but you're not going to put anything.
Okay, so let's see what she did. She doesn't. Okay, so let's see.
See, in this first row, there is no whole number, and Marcy walked those days, those distances. Now, let's look at the next row. These days, she walked 1 mile and then an additional fraction, so she's walking more. So we're going to put these days on the next row in my stem and leaf plot. So my whole number, my stem, will go here on the stem side, and that is a 1. And then my leaves will follow after the stem in the same row. So on this particular day, she walked 1 and 1/4 miles. The next day, you can see that she did walk a mile, but I don't have to put that here again. I'm just going to leave the 1 that's already there. And I'm going to take the fraction part, the 2/4, and that's going to go on my stem and leaf plot. So that represents 1 and 2/4 miles walked. The next stay. She walked 1 2/4 miles again. That 1 will stay over there, and my 2/4 will go on my stem and leaf plot. So far I see that she's walked 1 1/4 miles, 1 2/4 miles, 1 2/4 miles. So let's finish up for miles walked that were more than 1 mile. 1 2/4 is represented on the stem and leaf plot. The 2/4 goes on the leaf. And 1 3/4 goes on the side.
Okay, now we have a situation here where we have a 1 without any fractions. Right? Okay, tell me how you're going to do that, Emmanuel. I put the 1 in the stem. Okay, because I don't have anything, right? So I put a 0. Now, I'm going to check off everything that I've done so far so that everything is accounted for. Now, what do I have in front of that fraction? So, where would I put this, Isabella? Do I have to write a 1? I already have it on here, don't I? So I don't necessarily have to write it again, right? I just have to write the half. Okay, so I have that one, and then I have another half, and then I have another half. Are they accounted for? Yes. Now I have the same situation. What am I going to do? Got it, Kennedy? Okay, which is the stem, and then the leaf. What am I going to write? Very good. So that one's accounted for. And then Camden, what do I do?
So you would leave for the next one, you would leave the 2 there and just put 1 half.
Okay, very good. So 1/2. What else do I do, Renata? Okay, another half because I still have another 2.5. And now what, Regina? I'm sorry, say that one more time. The 3 on the stem and the 0 on the leaf. And now I'm accounted for everything. Do you see that? Does it make a little bit more sense now? But remember what I need down here? What do I need down here? I'm going to need my key. And my key says that 1 equals what? Okay, there you go. Everybody understands now? Yes. Is it a good refresher?
Yes.
Did it answer your questions a little bit that you might have or your doubts? Yes? No? Do you still have questions?
No, I didn't really have any doubts.
Okay. Everybody 100% clear on these?
Yep.